Swap it!
Hi, I'm PJ and I love board games. My team also told me to, I have a clicker, to build some credibility. So I've been playing board games for about 8 years. I own approximately 89 games, take a leave or some tens. I play approximately 174 minutes a week because it's fun, and you should too. This is one of my passions, and I love building stuff, which is one of my passions. Every time I get there, people say, hey, you should build something which is your passion. I've been doing that, and I've been programming all kinds of stuff over the past few years at startup weekends. So this time, I wanted to create a physical product instead of just programming and drinking coffee and Red Bull and just have fun, which I did before, obviously, but this time even more. So we built Swap It. Keep swapping is our tagline. Basically, it's a tile game in a grid of 4x4 or 5x5, depending on how many people you play with. You move around the board to get 10 stars, which is the end goal. Then you have to go back to your home salami piece, which was our prototype. and you can swap out tiles to screw your friends over by giving them minus 2 stars or plus 2 stars or whatever. So we did kind of this. So we built, we measured, and we learned. So how do we build? You just saw a photo with the salami prototypes. How do we measure? We wrote a simulator which pretty much ran through hundreds of our games to see whether there were any deadlocks in it, whether we missed any rules or whatever. We calculated the average time the game takes, stuff like that. This is our 3D rendering prototype. Thank you very much. We rendered some visuals to get you an idea of what it's going to look like. We have swappable themes, which you can see here as well. You can take out the lid and replace the actual image inside it with another image. You can download these from our website. You can buy these in the store with the default theme, or you can make them themselves. You can download a PhD from our website, put them in Photoshop, add your own theme, Game of Thrones, Pokemon, whatever, and then play with your children with Dora the Explorer, or with your friends with beers on it, whatever. How are we going to target this? Well, at first we want to become an indie game publisher. We want to distribute it ourselves, but we realize that this is really hard. So we have to make some noise in the world and see whether we can get there. Kickstarter would be one way to get us there. And if all fails, we can side with the dark side, which is one of those game publishers. But of course, we want to get some traction and go to these game publishers when we've sold a bunch of these units, so we have a foot in the door and we can do it on our own terms. So here are some quotes, especially one from the dark side, which isn't really the dark side because they're nice people. We've already sold 14 of them. That's hard-earned cash. I got even more money in our prototype, which is here. And we're swapping the pre-order now. Thank you very much. Prototype.
Thank you very much. Something we can touch.
Yeah.
Have you any idea of the price?
We're selling it right now for €10 on the pre-order list. That's probably going to be our production cost at quantities below 1,000. Right there. So we're aiming at a €15 price point in the market, which is very reasonable for a game like this, which sets us up about €6 margin up until €12 margin, depending on how many units we create with people who make board games, actually produce them.
Okay, so first of all, we don't see a lot of consumer products at Startup Weekend, so congratulations.
Thanks.
But they're really, really hard because they're all about marketing and about deep investment. And I know Kickstarter seems like a very interesting way to bypass that. But if you had to go classic, what would be the way for you to market your product?
Well, we're trying to do it through the indie game community, which is really big in the US. It's starting to grow in Europe. There are forums out there with people posting their game ideas and people responding to it, and they actually get traction, which is sort of an informal Kickstarter. So we want to see whether you can reach a sale of about 1,000 units, from which point it starts to get interesting for either yourself or going to a publisher to sell even more.
But you can't maintain those margins at 1,000 of volume.
That's true. So then
you need investment.
Well, not necessarily, because we can also produce a lower quality game at a lower price, which would, of course, cannibalize your own market because the product would be less awesome. But that's a strategy to take. So we have to decide on the eventual production costs, selling costs, and stuff like that to correctly evaluate which route we want to go to actually put this in the market.
So I think in games, it's all about how cool the game is, and I didn't really understand what the game is about. So maybe can you tell me a little bit about the game, how you aim to protect the format, because I think that's really important as well.
I don't think protecting the format is necessarily important within the game industry. If you look at all the games being made in the past decades, then it all comes down to the number of 10 game mechanics they can combine in every different ways, and then you put a theme upon it. So Monopoly isn't a protected format. You can actually make another Monopoly with a different theme, but you are not allowed to call it Monopoly. So protecting the game in itself isn't something we aim for. Actually, we're more leaning towards an open source version where you can take our idea, put different themes on it, and do whatever you want, but sell a high quality premium version in a nice box for the actual game fanatics like me.
I have a question. Will you finally make an iPad version, or is that?
That might be, but for the time being, we wanted to focus on the physical product and then take it to the iPad instead of the other way around.
Okay, because I can imagine that the big companies just wanted to make some innovation and.
How many customers did you talk to?
Sorry?
How many customers did you talk to?
I think, let me see your hand if you played our prototype version. Come on, there's more than that. I know.
So
okay,
that's 20
we've done
at
a lot.
least,
Now
okay.
more. You're just hiding.
All right, thank you very much.